Okay, I'm good.
Everybody's ready?
Yeah.
Okay. An eerie silence has descended upon the town of Cobble Corner following the events earlier in the evening. Inside Mayor Greystone's office, the quiet is broken only by the crackling of the dwindling fire. Scribbs and Annie have their ears pressed up against the door, straining to catch a hint of any approaching footsteps, while Mila is sprawled out on the sofa, her fingers idly tracing patterns in the fabric. Elowen remained silent, lost in her thoughts, her gaze fixed on the dying embers in the fireplace. Suddenly, the heavy silence was shattered by the sound of approaching footsteps. How does everyone react to those footsteps?
I think last session I had sat up straight in my chair.
So is it only me and Annie that can hear because we're like pressed up against the door? Or can everybody hear?
Sorry, say that again.
Is it only me and Annie that can hear, or can everybody hear? Because
everybody can hear it.
Okay. I don't have any dice. Fuck.
Oh, Keenan, go get dice.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Do you have dice, Jordan?
Yep, my dice stay here.
Is there a big thing downstairs? The bag?
Yes it is.
Oh.
I was obviously very prepared for this session, so.
It's actually voting in my favor because I'm scheming, so please continue.
Oh, there you go. I don't even know how I would react.
Hello? Oh my god, Dad?
Dad's here! Dad, can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You're like Johnny Pipes. I know that person.
I'm just gonna switch over.
Yeah. Make sure you turn your camera on too if you can. And I'm going to be completely honest. So who was doing what again? Grace.
Surprise guest appearance.
I sat straight up because I could hear people coming, and I was like lounging fully, and like we're in trouble, so I like sit up all the way, and I'm like, I'm not being lazy.
I, as Scribbs, will like turn back to the room about to say something and then realize that they heard it too and they're sitting up, so I just don't say anything.
Okay. There's Dad. Heck yeah.
Woo!
Can you... Dad, can you hear everyone okay?
Yeah.
Cool.
I need to turn Dad's volume up. I have everybody else up except
I have to turn Dad's volume down. He's like yelling at me. Okay. Does Annie do anything, Keenan?
I don't think she would.
Okay. Elowen is just gonna sit, like, literally unbothered by the sound of the footsteps.
Okay.
Actually, Annie might back away from the door and go sit.
That person?
Yeah.
This is Hoo-Hoo for now.
Okay.
Yeah, Hoo-Hoo's sitting atop the globe.
Oh, the bird's name is Hoo-Hoo. I forgot about that.
The door swings open to reveal a tall, looming character in the doorway. The figure stands at 6'2", with brass-colored scales glistening in the dim light, his white hair styled into a mohawk, and his blue eyes sharp and piercing, with a scar across his right eye, a reminder of past battles. The stranger's attire was regal yet worn, robes adorned with a faded crest of blue and silver, hinting at a noble lineage. An amulet hung around his neck, its ruby centerpiece glinting in the dim light. I just realized I need to put this over here. Don't look at my stuff.
Then don't show us.
I'm trying not to. Ah! There we go. Okay. And then this way I'm looking at you guys a little bit better as well. With an air of authority, the stranger took his place in the room, his cold expression and standoffish demeanor sending a shiver down the spines of the accused party. When he growled in irritation, it was like a rumble of distant thunder, a warning of a storm to come. He's going to come in and he's going to stand kind of up here. 3 guards follow behind him. And they're going to enter the room about here.
Oh, they're red. They're enemies.
Fight, fight, fight.
They all stand off to the side, waiting to defend if needed. Then enters Queen Arabella. Clad in black robes of mourning. Her cheeks are flesh, stained with tears that have carved tracks down her face.
I feel a lot worse about trying to steal things from the pockets in the last session.
So her name is Arabella.
Queen Arabella.
Got it.
Turn my lamp on a little.
How do you spell that? Arablele.
Bella. Queen Arabella. Queen Arabella's anger is an eerie calmness. With measured steps, she approaches the accused party, her regal presence casting shadows over the room. As her gaze falls upon them, her eyes reflect the depths of her sorrow and the intensity of her rage. "You stand accused," the queen began, her voice a low, menacing whisper that seemed to emanate from the depths of her soul. "Of the most heinous crime, a crime that has torn at the very fabric of our kingdom's peace and prosperity, what do you have to say for yourselves?"
I'm sorry.
It wasn't us.
Where'd your camera go, Jordy?
I have to take my bra off, leave me alone.
Jordan.
I'm being honest. Does Annie say anything?
I think she'll kind of awkwardly look over at Elowen, but she's not going to say anything.
Okay. Elowen literally does not move at all. She's just still staring at the fire.
I want to give, what's her name, Elowen?
Yeah, Elowen's on the sofa here.
I want to give her a bit of a glare because, like, we didn't do it and she saw us not do it and she's, like, not saying anything. So I want to give her a bit of a glare to be like, what the fuck, dude?
So now everybody's looking at her.
She's literally still not even gonna, like, care that anybody's looking at her at all. Queen Arabella, her eyes once ablaze with anger, now flicker with a glimmer of uncertainty, betraying the turmoil within her. "That's all you have to say."
Well, like, it wasn't us, so, like, what do you want us to say?
She just kind of stands there, like, waiting for an answer.
Well, I can tell you what really happened, but I don't know if you're going to believe me.
Try me. She's like clenching her fists and just standing like still. She's trembling a little. She's pissed. Like,
Okay, so I was walking down the street, right? And I saw my old one of my old villagers from I guess we never came up with a name for my hometown, huh?
Nope.
From X Village, and his name is Thimble Gearspark. So of course he's right in the town square, you know, selling his wares. So I go and I see what he's got to offer, because you know I'm a curious guy too. So I want to see what kind of cool things he's got. So he starts talking to me, and then your daughter, I guess, the princess. I look at her with questioning, curious eyes.
she just is like, her eyes kind of start to well up again, and she's just like,
Right. Anyway, she started talking about the bridge and how it was blessed, and then some other weird guy came out of the crowd out of nowhere, and he was like, "Oh, I curse this bridge forever, and 1,000 years of vengeance upon your soul and all this stuff. And then a bunch of other guys with cloaks came out, and then they started to approach her, and then it just went crazy. It looked like they were gonna kill her, so a few of us took action. And I've never killed a person before, so this is really kind of freaking me out right now. And stuff just kind of went crazy and got out of hand, and 3 people died, and then it seemed like everything was okay, and then the princess was okay, and then all of a sudden this guy went woo out of nowhere and just like stabbed her, and then he just like went woo again, and he was gone.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Were the dead bodies there when other people showed up?
Oh yeah, like were the cultist bodies there, or did they disappear?
Sorry, 1 second.
And so that's what happened. Also, that girl with the orange hair was going through your daughter's pockets.
Hey! I asked if the bodies of the enemies were still there when we were caught.
No, they've been cleaned up because the
Before
city
or
cares.
after?
As soon as everything happened, basically, once you guys were brought away, the bodies were cleaned up
I
as
mean,
well.
like, did other people see the dead bodies?
Yeah, like the bodies were still physically there, right?
Okay,
Like
so
people
when
had
they
to
came
move
to,
them and
like-
clean them.
When they came to, like, arrest us, the dead bodies were there.
Mhm.
They saw the dead bodies, so...
Oh, well, yeah,
my
because, like,
character's gonna be like, did you not see those scary motherfuckers that were, like,
Okay.
dead? Like, we were protecting the princess, obviously.
the queen wasn't there, but yeah.
Anyways.
I don't know, it just looks like your guys' party killed everyone in the town square. Like, because
Well,
remember,
because
they
you
were
want
dressed as townspeople, too.
Ah, that's right.
That's how they blended in when they were originally there. So to them, it looks like you just slaughtered townspeople and the princess.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Bunch of murder hobos.
The way that Keenan explained it, what was very convincing. So, I mean, the queen.
Was it?
It was more convincing than how I worded it. So, the queen is pacing, thinking about this, like hearing what all of you guys had to say. And she's just steaming, but like very calmly. And all you can hear is her heeled footsteps and the sound of the cackling fire. And she starts really softly and she says, "The life of my beloved daughter was snuffed out by treachery." She continued, her voice gaining strength with each syllable. "And you," she points at Elowin, "her supposed protector." Her words started to spit with anger. Elowin is still unfazed by the queen, her gaze fixed on the flickering flames. The queen seems to age within moments. Lines of stress and worry etch themselves deeper into her face. Her eyes, once pools of deep blue, were now void of any warmth. With a sneer, she flicks her wrist and says, "Rogar." The dragonborn standing by slowly approaches. "Rogar, how would you like to execute Elowin?"
Get her ass, kill her, kill her.
What reason do I have to believe that she has to be executed?
Because she failed to protect the princess, and the queen fucking asked you to. And you work for the queen.
What are the repercussions if I do execute her?
There are 3 high-level warriors standing behind you that will do what they are asked if you don't. I highly advise to execute Elowin.
Was that the DM speaking or the queen speaking?
That's everybody speaking.
Am I employed with the queen right now?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'll execute her.
So how would you like to do that?
Or just with the queen's, just walk up in one swift motion and off with her head kind of thing. She's not even expecting it.
Damn.
With my blade.
Right on the chair.
Okay, can you roll for that? So that would be a d20.
What am I rolling?
So
what am I
just a
rolling?
d20 for now to see if you hit.
Is it advantage because she doesn't see it coming?
Yeah. That's fair.
15.
Yeah, so you absolutely. And
15.
now I'm going to get you with your weapon. It should say on your sheet like a, 1d6, 2d8, something like that. I'd like you to roll your weapon and see what you...
From hit dice?
Grace, that scared me.
Sorry, my alarm.
I was like, what is that?
It's a Hosier song, so it goes.
From my
I
hit
know.
dice, right?
Sorry, Dad.
Trying to find. So it's a D10 is what mine is.
D10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I rolled a 10.
Very
she's
nice.
I think
Yeah,
that's a
so-
liar. I'm just kidding.
So basically, yeah, her like bonk, 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 like as a
There's
whole.
blood everywhere. I pick my feet up off the ground. and,
Not
like,
even.
No
Oh,
blood.
fuck, did I just pull that cable? Hello? Grace, you said there's blood.
Yeah, because he just like cut her head off, right?
Yeah.
So I pick my feet up off the ground because I'm like right next to her. I don't want blood in my shoes.
Annie and Scribbs, do you guys have any kind of reaction?
I honestly, I think both of them are just gonna look as in like, what the fuck just happened? Scribbs, you can see it all over his face, but Annie's more like a little more stoic about it, but still very confused.
Rogar then can like return back to where he was kind of standing there once he's done. The queen turns back to the group. She says, if you are innocent, her voice is a cold whisper, then prove it. If you dare claim innocence, then you must bring me the culprit. Only then will your words hold any weight in my eyes. Rogar, accompany these individuals on their quest. You are to ensure their compliance and report back to me if they stray from their path or attempt to deceive us. With a wave of her hand, she dismisses everyone from the room. Go, she commands, and do not return until you have uncovered the truth. Everybody kind of clears out. Rogar's behind everyone.
As I walk past the queen, I want to give her the flower that the princess gave me and say, my daughter gave this to me and I want you to have it. So I give her the little flower that the princess gave me before. Just for some bonus points.
Just 2 inches of fucking snow on the ground.
Sorry?
I just went outside and there's 2 inches of snow on the ground.
Oh, fuck.
Probably a blizzard outside for me right now. I'm quite a bit higher up with elevation.
And sorry, Grace, you gave her the flower that the daughter had given her?
Given me, yeah. So I give that to her for extra brownie points. Hopefully that does something in the future.
Okay. So everybody clears out. And as everyone's leaving the room, you can hear Queen Arabella start to cry, like pretty hard. As Rogar guides the party out of the mayor's house, the atmosphere is heavy with tension and uncertainty. Annie, Scribbs, and Neela follow silently, and as they step out into the cool night air, they are greeted by the sight of Yosig. His eyes widen with worry as he takes in the group, but his expression brightens as he spots Annie among them. Annie, Yosig claims, his voice filled with relief. Thank the gods you're all right. Come, quickly, he urges, motioning the party to follow him. We must talk, but not here. With Rogar's imposing presence lingering nearby, the party exchanges uneasy glances, uncomfortable with the presence of this unfamiliar figure. They follow Yosig through the quiet streets of Cobble Corner, the dim moonlight casting long shadows along the cobblestone pathways. Eventually, they do arrive at Yosig's modest home. Tucked away behind Ironhammer Forge where he works, Once inside, the party finds themselves in the cozy confines surrounding the comforting scent of metal and hearth fire. Yosig quickly sets about making them comfortable, stalking the fire and offering them seats around the small room. What happened? He asks. And so everybody's kind of in here.
Do we have to give Yosei another recap of what happened?
No, I mean we can just say that you told him what happened, but like this is the time where if you guys were like, what the fuck? Like you guys could talk now, so
I'll say Annie recaps for him.
this is Hoo. This is what he actually looks like. I just forgot to fix it in the last room. Sorry, Keenan?
I would just say Annie recaps for him. I don't want to do it again.
That's
but,
fine.
Like, in the the brief but stoic way Annie would, she would just say everything that happened.
Okay. Once the tale is told, Yosig rises from his seat with a determined air. He moves to a wooden chest tucked away in another room, its weathered exterior bearing the marks of countless journeys and adventures. With practiced hands, he opens the chest and begins to rummage through its contents. From within, Yosig pulls out a collection of old maps and weathered journals, their pages yellowed with age and filled with the stories of his own adventures. These old maps and journals hold the key to unlocking the mysteries of Cobble Corner, Yosig explains. I've spent years documenting the history of this town, uncovering secrets buried beneath its cobblestone streets. Yosig's gaze shifted to a specific map in his hand. There is one person who may be able to shed some light on the matter, he continued, his tone growing more animated. An old acquaintance of mine by the name of Soren the Sage. Yosig paused, a hint of nostalgia in his eyes. Soren was once a renowned wizard who lived on the outskirts of town, he explained. He delved into the mysteries of shadow magic and the darker arts. Despite his reclusive nature, Soren shared his knowledge with those he deemed worthy. Yosig added, but Soren tried to fall off the radar years ago. He vanished from public view, seeking solitude in his pursuit of arcane knowledge. However, he said with a mischievous twinkle in his eye, I've kept tabs on him over the years. Yosig spreads out the map for the party, tracing a path with his finger. I can provide you directions to Soren's secluded home, he offered, but he warned. He values his privacy. Approach him with respect and caution. He may be willing to share some insights into the working of shadow magic. Does anybody have any questions? What is everybody doing right now?
Scribs will come up. Is this Soren fellow an elf?
Soren is a dragonborn.
I do not know Draconic, so that sucks.
So Keenan does not know Draconic. Or Scribs doesn't anyways.
I know Draconic.
There we go.
So does
I speak Draconic.
I grab the journal and like walk over and just like at him. I'm like, I don't say anything.
what journal?
You said that he grabbed journals and stuff.
Oh, yeah, but like, what does that have to do with? Everybody just kind of looks at you then because it has nothing to do with what we're talking about, I think.
I thought that he had journals from the other guy because you said he wrote journals to share his knowledge, and the guy had journals. So I.
Oh no, he doesn't have any journals himself.
Oh, okay. Well, good to know.
He just knows where he is. That's what he does. That's what, yeah.
That makes way more sense. Thank you.
Okay, sorry if I didn't explain that properly.
Annie's just gonna look at Yosig too and be like, what is all this?
Yosig gets a little bashful with Annie asking. And he's just kind of like, back in the day, I used to adventure. Like, he's just kind of like, yeah.
So that guy speaks Draconic, right?
Soren is Dragonborn, so it's assumed that he would speak Draconic.
Not the guy in the room with us, though. That's
But not the guy in the room with us currently. Yosig is a
He's a dwarf.
Dwarf, that's what it is. Sorry. I always get gnomes and dwarves mixed up.
Short people. Represent.
So no, he does not speak Dragonborn. Yosei, oh, sorry, pardon me.
Who's in the far left corner?
This?
Can you make it bigger
Yeah.
to show him what it looks like? Because I fucking hate that bird.
This is,
No, I just didn't know who it was.
that would be Scribbs's. So this is Scribbs, who's Keenan. I don't think we've actually done a character reveal either. And this is Grace, who is Neela.
Okay.
And this is Yosig, who is Annie's kind of guardian right now. And this is Annie. Okay?
Yep.
So, and the bird's name is Hoo Hoo. If you needed to know.
Because he's an owl.
So creative. Yoseg looks back down at the map and he says, you want to follow the path through this forest, he explains, tracing a winding route on the map with his finger. It will lead you to Soren's cottage, near Tanglewood, nestled deep within the woods. But be cautious, he warns. The forest can be treacherous, especially at night. So stay together and keep your wits about you. And I actually did make this here. I don't know how big I can make this. But he's showing you guys. Ooh, I'm gonna make it even bigger. I should have zoomed in a little bit. This is where you guys are right now in Cobble Corner. And he's kind of tracing his finger over here to Tanglewood. And the cottage is kind of around here somewhere.
Okay.
Okay.
So we could go through the city if we wanted to, but it's a little out of the way. And there's a stop on the way. What is that? Textura?
Yeah, Textura.
Ooh, can we get new clothes? New fits?
Probably.
New fits for the squad?
So we
New
could-
fits for the squad.
That's not super far out of the way, so we could stop there for one night on the way.
Does each square equal 1 day of travel, or like how do we?
I don't know yet.
So is this like a
We'll figure it out.
Is this like a 3-day walk to get where we need to go, or is it like a 30-day walk where we should probably find horses and take horses? Because that would
I'm going to say that this is probably about a 3-day walk.
3-day. Okay.
I speak the true.
So yeah, it's about a 3-day walk, 3 days worth of travel to get to Tanglewood at least, and that's not including where Soren lives. So.
And about what time is it in our current day?
Right now,
Yeah.
it's I believe it's 3 a.m. right now. I think I actually wrote that down.
3 a.m.
Yeah, it's like super early in the morning right now. You just got it.
Holy.
It was like nearing the end of the day, kind of when all of the like stuff kind of. It's like 5 o'clock
we were in
when
the mayor's
things
office
happened,
for like 8
and
hours.
you guys were like sitting in the mayor's office for who knows how long, waiting for the queen to arrive from the next wherever over from Cathedra Sanctum, because that's where the princess was from.
My character, Neela, is immediately demanding food. She's fucking starving. She wants a snack, she wants a dinner, she wants a meal.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so absolutely. So maybe does like your stomach rumble then, Grace? Like, is that maybe something that...
And I go, do you have food here? I'm hungry. Do you have food?
So we'll go back over here.
Do you have food?
Yeah, Yosig absolutely has food. He runs over to the table here and he's kind of looking around. And when you guys look around the room, you can kind of tell they don't have a lot to offer, but he's pulling out some bread. He's pulling out some stuff from jars and he's like, please help yourselves. And he kind of feeds you guys.
When Neela starts demanding, Annie's gonna shoot her a glare as like, give him some respect.
I'm gonna look at Annie. I'm gonna be like, are you not also hungry? Like,
Is that a
no.
She's
chest
gonna
in the
walk.
other room?
She's gonna walk over, just grab a piece of bread, and start eating.
Fair. Everybody's eating now. We're all
Is that a
happy.
chest in the other room, Jordan?
There is a chest in the other room. But I will tell you, you guys all heard him go in, grab the stuff, and come out with it. So
Is there a lock on
Doesn't
that
mean
chest?
doesn't mean I can't look.
okay.
I'm just walking over there, chilling,
You like here now?
just casually.
So you just casually went into the other room.
Scribbs is gonna see that and send Hoo to look around the corner to watch him.
I want to inspect the chest to see if it's like anything I could unlock.
It's already unlocked.
He forgot to lock
What's
it
that?
after he opened
It's already unlocked. There's no lock on it.
There's no lock on it?
Yeah.
I look over my shoulder, see if I can hear anybody coming or anything. See if I can hear Grace talking to the guy to order food.
Can I get everyone to roll, what is that, perception?
Everyone?
What would that be? Just to see if
Well,
anybody hears
do you want
that.
to use our passive perceptions, or do you want us to roll for them?
I guess that would be passive perception.
Go.
If he's trying to be sneaky, he has to roll stealth against our passive perception.
That's true, yeah. So Dad, you'll have to roll for stealth.
What dice am I rolling and what numbers am I looking at? You guys are saying stuff. And I don't know
So
what
I
any
think
of these-
passive is just a set number, isn't it?
Passive is a set number.
It's on your character sheet. And
I rolled a fucking 1.
Oh, passive.
you rolled a
passive
1.
Wisdom perception.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is that?
Mine's 12 on the thing. What dice?
Well,
is
if he
it?
rolled a 1, it doesn't matter. Everybody heard what he did.
Yeah, so you got
I haven't
got.
done anything. I just looked over my shoulder.
So Yosig's probably gonna, unless somebody else runs over there before him.
I imagine maybe he was walking over to the chest and like tripped on something, and then Hoo started flapping and like flew back into the room and made a commotion.
Okay,
Sure.
I let out a fart. I let out a loud fart and go, oh, excuse me.
I feel like we would need a persuasion check on that one. Did he convince us that
Well, I
he was
excused
just going there
myself to go
fart?
to another room.
That's a deception check if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, so a deception check.
Really making Dad work for his money today.
What?
Would you roll?
Oh, I didn't roll anything. 17.
Okay.
So would that go against your passive as well? No, that would go.
No,
Do you guys have to
that's-
challenge that?
Well, that's whatever you want to set the challenge as.
I see. I would say because you rolled so poorly on your last one, everybody's probably like, okay, like sure, Jan. Like, does that make sense?
No confrontation, but we're like, whatever.
Y'all are very sus, but like, you're not gonna really say anything because he got you guys to basically just leave him alone about it.
Fair enough. Okay.
Do you do anything else now that you've shit your pants in the other room?
No, I'm just standing there farting.
You farted again?
Was that guy right around the corner there, apparently? I can't see him, obviously, but...
So you're just
We made such a ruckus. Yeah, he started coming over here, but then you farted, so now he's just kind of doesn't really know what to do. Everybody's
Okay.
probably looking at each other in the other room, like,
Okay, well, obviously,
open
I
the door to
open-
like air it out a little.
I
which
opened
door?
the chest to see what's in it. Very quietly, I opened the chest and slowly.
Annie will lean against the door and just like watch him do it.
I'm like opening and like fanning the door to like help get rid of any smell.
Okay.
Do not go in there.
So Annie's watching you open
Are like,
this
like
chest.
arms crossed, leaning on the door,
So like
just glaring at him.
So I slowly open it so it doesn't like go really loud or something.
In front of Annie, who's fully watching you do this.
What's that?
I said in front of Annie, who's fully watching you do this.
Oh, I'm not supposed to? I don't know.
Do you? That's what I'm asking. Are you or are you gonna not?
Does Dad know that Annie and Yosig are, like, tight?
There's people standing at the door watching you do this.
Okay.
So you're opening the chest and there's people fully watching you. So are you gonna keep opening it or like what's your plan here?
I'm just gonna open it. Fuck it.
Okay.
I give it an approval nod. Like, nice.
Grace, you can't even see what's going on.
I can feel it in my bones.
Someone's doing something mischievous and you're just like smiling. You're like, I know something's going on in there. Like,
Yeah.
Keenan, what are you doing to react to him going through your family's stuff?
Well, Annie's just gonna look back at Yoseg and then she's gonna take a couple steps forward and square up and just be like, if you want me to fuck him up, I will, you know? But without saying anything, just kind of like giving Yoseg a look.
Okay, Yosig is, everything's been removed from the chest. That was his adventurer chest. So there's nothing in there. So because of that, he's pissed off, but he's still like,
What are you gonna take? The chest itself?
there's nothing to take, you know what I mean? Like everything's on the floor in the living room. So he's probably like shaking his head at Annie, like, don't, like, just ignore it kind of deal.
Okay, well, I explained to him, sorry, I was looking for somewhere to put my gold and maybe lock it up for the night.
I'm gonna get you to roll another deception check.
Annie's holding back a rage right now.
Well,
12.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that's pathetically believable. Like, what a stupid excuse. But again, I think that could be convincing enough. Keenan, how would you or how would Annie react to maybe hearing that, considering her?
I'll roll an insight check for her to see if she believes it.
Sure. Because I can't remember what your character's kind of like.
Well, I rolled a natural 19 plus whatever, so.
So she doesn't believe you fucking at all. So what would you do in reaction to that then?
And he's just gonna give him like a death glare and be like, if I see you touching any of his shit again, we're gonna have a problem.
I thought I was gonna be the shit disturber in this game.
I nod in approval.
Yosig's gonna be kind of awkward. And he's like, just kind of shaking his head because he knows kind of what Annie's capable of at this point now, like having seen what she did earlier in the night. He's like, okay, like, it's best if you guys stay here tonight, rest, prepare yourselves, you know, leave in the morning. You guys, you know, it's been high tensions all night. He looks around apologetically and he says, there are only 2 beds. I'm sorry. I don't have more to offer, but please make yourself comfortable.
I want to
He then-
the fireplace.
So, Grace, you're immediately curling up in front of the fireplace?
Yeah, like a cat.
Okay. He's looking at Annie and he's a little bit sad because I think he's starting to realize that she has to go now, right? And so he grabs his coat and he goes outside to get more firewood.
Annie will go with him.
Okay. Put him like here, maybe.
She'll
Okay.
give him a hand, just like grabbing more.
Let's assume the wood's like right here.
Sure.
Okay. So you guys are grabbing the wood. Grace, you're curled up there. Is Scribbs doing anything?
He might just sit at the table and kind of just start reading while he's kind of nibbling on some food.
Okay. Rogar, what is he doing?
I'm gonna go look at the table on the other side of the room.
Mm-hmm.
No, on the other side of the kitchen. No, keep
The
going
table
around to
with
the
the
other side.
papers on it,
There's a
Jordan.
table with stuff on it. Nope, down. Yeah, that table.
So there's this stuff
What's on the
here,
table.
Dad. There's a grid, if you can see that. So you can tell me like H5 or H4.
Oh, sorry, I was zoomed in.
No, that's okay. I'm
Yeah,
just
so-
letting you know if you want to use that in the future.
Yeah, so H4. I'm inspecting what's on that table.
Okay. I know it looks like trinkets and stuff, but this is a forge. So there's going to be mostly tools, a lot of like nails, hammers, such like that, maybe some spare metal parts. I'd say nothing really of value because, again, you're in the store section of the home, if that makes sense.
So there's no, say, cufflinks, like bracelets, handcuffs kind of idea?
Can I telepathically tell Hoo to keep an eye on this guy?
I don't know, can you?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Can you roll for that?
What do you want me to roll?
Just a 20?
Just the 20 and add what?
Just a 20?
I'm just looking.
D20?
15.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I can telepathically communicate with Hoo at any time.
I know, it's a bird and you're level 1, so sometimes I just want to, maybe it's a bird.
Okay.
Maybe he'll just be like, there's a worm or something. I don't know.
So this bird's just following him now.
Maybe he's up perched on the door, like
Sure.
here,
God, that
Yeah.
bird is
kind of
so
keeping an eye on him.
unsettling. I hate
Grace hates this bird, by the
Like,
way.
He's
literally,
cute.
I'm laying on the ground next to the fire and I'm like glaring at the bird like, ugh.
Also, Scribs wants to sit beside the fire beside Neela and just read.
Like here.
Yeah, like on the floor beside her.
I'm like curiously looking at the book that he's reading.
Do you guys have any kind of a moment when he comes and sits on the floor or anything?
Say, what the fuck is wrong with that guy?
I don't know, it's kind of weird, hey?
I think he needs to keep his hands to himself.
I agree, but he also looks pretty strong, so if we have to go and find this weird dark wizard guy, he could be pretty useful.
Okay. I'll uncertainly say, alright, I'll agree.
I mean, I don't blame him either. I really wanted to know what was in that chest, too. I just, wouldn't actually go and do it when somebody was right there, but
So as you guys are kind of warming up by the fire, I'm going to say that Yosig and Annie, they have that relationship where they don't really talk much, and so they're just doing firewood together. And that's the whole thing. They don't really say anything, and then they'll eventually come back inside. And as soon as Annie comes back inside, maybe with the firewood and all of that, Yosik just kind of says that he's gonna run out, maybe see if he can't find any like supplies or something.
Supplies for what?
He just says he's gonna go look for some supplies, and he just kind of leaves.
Okay.
He doesn't.
before he leaves, Annie will ask if he needs a hand.
And he'll say no rest, like he wants Annie to like stay.
Okay, she'll just nod.
So Yosig's gonna leave for now. So I'm gonna say a while has passed, and everyone's just kind of curling up to sleep. So
Annie's also going to keep an eye on Dragonborn.
Dragonborn. I'm gonna say everyone's ready for bed at this point. So where does everyone want to curl up to sleep for the night? Not that it super matters, but
3 a.m., right?
I'm going to go to C2 and sit down.
okay. Grace, where are you sleeping?
I'm like literally just gonna sleep right in front of the fire on the ground. There's only 2
Scribs, where are you sleeping?
Annie offers up her bed to both Neela and Scribs.
Grace is sleeping there. Grace, do you take the offer for the bed?
No, I say I'm okay.
So we'll assume Annie sleeps in Yosig's bed then, maybe?
Now she's going to sleep on the other couch.
Like here?
Yeah.
Keep an
Okay.
eye on that guy.
She doesn't trust Rogar at all.
Right. Okay. Where's Hoo-Hoo?
Let's say Hoo sleeps maybe we'll just put him on the table beside Scribs.
Having trouble finding all the characters on the screen here. Okay.
There's 2 beds and only one's being used.
As the quiet of the night settles over the room, Neela finds herself unable to sleep. Her restless fingers drawn to the assortment of trinkets that she carries with her. Her nimble fingers, she idly plays with them, her mind wandering as she seeks to distract herself from the weight of this impending uncertainty. Suddenly, a faint scratching sound breaks the silence, drawing Neela's attention. Her gaze darts towards the source of the noise, and her eyes widen with surprise as a small white rat cautiously peeks its head through the floorboards. Despite its ragged appearance and unsettling gaze, Neela can't help but find the creature oddly fascinating. This rat is gonna be right here.
Nice. He even has his own token.
So this is the rat.
Ew!
I was allowed a field mouse with my character, but it doesn't make sense for my character to have a field mouse, for Neela to have a field mouse, so we have rat.
Yeah. You need a street rat.
Yep.
Street rat!
It's Master Splinter in disguise.
So Grace, how do you react to this rat?
I would assume I had some, like, leftover food, because, like, Yosig had offered us food, so I pocketed a little bit of it naturally. And I, like, sprinkle a few crumbs in front of the rat as, like, an offering.
Okay.
That was concerning.
The mouse kind of slowly approaches Neela with, like, a little bit of hesitation, but it's kind of relaxed a little. So it's very cautious, and it's getting very close to your hand for food. Grace, I'd like to roll, I think that would be, I don't want to say like acrobatics maybe, like I don't want you moving, so.
Animal handling?
Is that a roll that she can make?
Yeah.
Animal handling is a skill, yeah.
Go for it, yeah, that one then.
That's a d20, right?
Yep.
I have a natural 20 and then a +2 for animal handling.
I don't believe you.
It's literally a natural 20. I literally had them roll right here. You can see them on the thing.
Okay.
Do you want
It
me to roll
basically,
again?
no, it
Trying to
leaps
zoom
into
in.
your.
I can't zoom in on it.
Oh, Grace has them on her screen. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I didn't notice, but I was like, they're here, so like.
I kind of like that. That's actually a nice thing that I might keep in this. That's cool. I do believe you. It's fine.
Okay.
The rat jumps into your hands. It's very, very comfortable with you. And it's gonna just kind of eat whatever you gave it out of your hand.
I'm gonna like pet it, and I'm gonna like put it in my bag, like my little satchel, to let it sleep.
Okay. Together, they drift off to sleep. As they slumber peacefully, the worrying of the burdens of the world outside fade away, replaced by the simple joy of companionship.
Whose predator sense goes off and he looks around the corner for the rat. But not seeing it, he'll just go back to sleep.
I just like to mention that this is like a beefy rat, because Hoo would have eaten my field mouse, so we have a beefy rat who can hold.
Oh, Hoo would still eat your rat. Don't worry.
As morning light seeps into the room, the aroma of.
It's 3 a.m. It's already morning.
You've slept!
For like what, 3 hours? Now it's morning.
I put as you drift off into slumber as your thing, as you found your pet rat because you were awake, so you fell asleep. It's now morning time.
Yes, it was 3 a.m. when all of this happened. We've been in this
Yes.
for a while. We fell asleep for what, 3 hours, and now it's like 6
Probably.
Did we get a full rest?
That's what.
I'll say yes because you guys were probably like pretty rested the day
A long
before.
rest is 8 hours, by the way.
Okay, then no.
So we didn't get a full rest.
No, you did not.
Okay.
So we didn't sleep when we were in the mayor's office either, even though we.
I mean, Grace, you might have. You were lounging on that couch, so you tell me.
Sure, I don't.
We got a short rest at least though, because that's an hour.
Okay, so 2 short rests now, so that's a full rest, I guess.
I'll give that to you, Grace, because I'm gonna assume that you were like sleeping on that couch.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're confirmed on the timeline. So the light seeps in at what time in the morning?
7 a.m.
Okay.
Because of where the position of the building's located in the town square. That's when light comes through your windows.
Okay.
So between the mayor's office and this, we get a long rest? Or is that only for her?
I'm gonna say, well, she only got a short rest too at the mayor's office.
Yeah, so we all only got 2 short rests. What are you saying?
Did you sleep at the mayor's office?
No, but like resting doesn't mean necessarily sleep. It means just downtime activity.
In that case, I would assume that everybody's gotten 8 hours because you guys have been doing nothing since going to the mayor's office.
Okay. So everybody is fully rested. We are. Health is good. Everything's.
I thought you said that's for sleep, so.
No, rest is just any downtime activity. But like it's assumed that you
Rest,
have to sleep at
research.
least a little bit every day.
Okay.
I want to go to.
It's the same as eating.
I want to go to 7H.
You just woke up. And you're gonna run over here.
And I want to look at the rolls or maps at 7G.
Okay.
There's like
I just
a-
know Dad's zoomed in on his iPad right now, looking around at this map.
Yeah.
Me being like shelf and shelf.
Does Annie wake up when he wakes up?
You tell me.
Well, I don't know.
Are you
Good.
sneaking over there, Dad, or did you just get up and go over there?
Who, me?
Yes.
Yeah, I got up, walked over just because I was in the room earlier.
So I would
I
assume
wanted
that
to
you
look at-
heard. I would assume that you heard him then, because he's not trying to be sneaky about it. And
No, I just casually walked over. I woke up, casually
Okay,
walking.
well, if
over.
he's not being sneaky about it, then Annie's gonna follow and make her presence known.
I'm just
How does
I'm just,
Annie make her presence known?
She,
just curious. I'm not doing anything suspicious, but I wanted to look at the whatever container maps or rolls or whatever that is.
Dad being like, I'm not doing anything suspicious right now.
I'm just
Yes.
looking. I'm just casually looking. I'm not rummaging through stuff. I'm just looking to see if they're maps or what are they?
Annie will kind of shake her arms out and crack her neck.
So you're just genuinely looking at the maps, and Annie's like, "Oh yeah," like, like
Yeah.
that.
She's trying to
Yeah, but I
act
haven't
casual,
touched
like
anything.
she's stretching, but she's definitely keeping an eye on them.
The maps, from what you can see, the maps are just rolled up. Maybe not even maps, but I would say blueprints for weapons, maybe. Like they have the measurements and everything you would need to like lay out and draw the weapon or something. So I'd say blueprints more than anything.
What do I see on the desk in front of me?
Do you have any reaction to Annie behind you?
Yeah, I feel the presence of somebody there. I just kind of know without actually looking that somebody's watching me. So that's why I'm not doing anything. I'm
Okay.
just casually
just-
looking.
Perusing. So on the desk, it's just, as you can see, just some papers and a pen. On the papers, you can see that there's records of transactions. So like anytime somebody's bought something, it's been their name, what it was, and how much it was. And if it was maybe paid or not.
What do I see in the corner? Are those books? Bookshelf?
Yep.
To the
I was
right.
also about to ask about those as well.
I just walk over casually, like inspecting, but just kind of browsing, more or less, without touching anything.
Okay.
Can I go take a
Knowing
look at
that-
those books?
You want to also come out here and look at these books, Grace?
Yeah, I want to see if there's anything in
Oops.
Thieves' Cant.
Is your rat coming with you?
He's in my bag still. He's still sleeping.
I just attach him to you now. So Grace, you're coming over here as well.
Yeah, I just want to see if there's any books in Thieves' Cant over there.
Annie, do you have any reaction?
Now she's just watching two people.
Okay. From what you can see, Grace, no, there's nothing on Thieves' Cant.
Okay, I'll just leave then. I just wanted to check out the books.
Is there any books of significance that would be important to us
It's
on our journey or anything?
it's strictly relating to how to make weapons and other.
If
like,
we're talking books,
logs.
Scribs is up in there too.
So Scribs has woken up and is coming to.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's just like, ooh, books. Like. Okay,
Just
so
fucking
Scribs comes
screwing in
over.
there.
I would assume that Scribs is also small enough that he just kind of like is super small, like walks right underneath, kind of
Yeah.
My dick hanging down. Kinda hits him in the
Rogar.
face.
Scribs is also like annoyingly reading out all the book titles and like looking up at Rogar after every one.
How do you spell Dad's character's name?
Rhogar.
Rhogar?
Yeah, Rogar.
Okay.
Is that how you say it?
Okay.
Because that's how I say it.
Roger.
It's
Unless it's
Rogar.
Roger.
Roger.
It's Roger.
Silent H.
It's Rogar.
Roger.
I call him Roger.
Rogar.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
So-
Okay.
So there's nothing of importance with the books.
It's all just, like I said, how to make weapons and other logs of like transactions and stuff. So that's, you tell me if that's of any importance to you. Nothing jumps out at you, no. So as you guys are kind of looking at these books here, you can kind of smell bacon kind of cooking. So it's a rare treat in Yosig's humble kitchen. The table is
I'm
now...
over there.
He's over here.
Forge bacon.
Now yell at him, bacon!
Christ. The table is now adorned with an array of fresh bread, ripe fruit, and steaming drinks. A feast fit for adventurers preparing for a long journey. Yosig moves about the kitchen with determination, his normally stern expression softened by the weariness etched into his features. It's clear that he's been up all night laboring over the stove to ensure that his guests are well fed and ready for the road ahead. Does anybody else have a reaction to all this?
Okay, well, I shoved that little shit that's next to me out of the way, and I gun it for a chair so I could sit down and eat.
Over here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I yell, bacon! Again.
Can I get you to roll a 20 for that, please, Dad?
A single tear rolls down Scribbs' cheek.
He's doing the Peter
11.
Griffin on the ground.
11.
Yeah.
Keenan, what's your AC?
My AC for
I'm
Scribbs
just curious.
is 12.
12. You knock him down for sure. Like, you don't just shove him, you, like, knock him down on the ground. So a single tear is kind of fitting from the floor.
Yeah. His glasses scramble a couple feet away too, so he has to like reach around for his glasses.
Okay. Yosig kind of saw what happened, and he's gonna pick up the glasses and maybe give them back to Scribbs, and he's gonna be like, "Come on, little gnome, get up."
Oh, thanks.
He's gonna go back to cooking. I'm gonna assume Grace and her rat are in here, and Annie's probably also made her way in here now as well.
I grab like a small plate of food that I'm sharing with the rat in my bag. And, like putting
Sure. Where are you sitting?
I'm gonna sit on the chair on B4.
Okay.
And I like
Annie.
humbly
go ahead.
nod to Yosig to be like, thank you.
Is this rat like a Harry Potter rat that's gonna fucking turn into a human?
No.
Professor Lupin.
He's a rat. Okay, what's Annie doing?
She's just
Does anybody
gonna
have
like,
any magic?
1 second.
she's just gonna jump in and start helping Yosig, and she's just gonna kind of, without anybody else hearing, kind of like quietly just say like, "You didn't have to do this."
He's gonna just kind of grunt like, ugh, you know.
Dad grunt.
Sorry, Dad. You said. Go ahead. Father,
What?
you said something about magic.
I was just curious if anybody knows any magic. It's a fucking rat. We don't know anything about it.
Scribbs knows
I
magic.
just met the rat too. I don't know anything about it. It literally showed up in the middle of the night and I gave it some food and it crawled into my fucking bag. I don't know anything about the rat either.
So why would you pick up the fucking rat?
Because it's cute. And it's mine now.
Okay.
So as the group digs into their meal, Yosig retrieves the map from the previous night, wraps it tightly, and hands it to Scribbs. "Take this with you," he says, his voice gruff yet earnest. It's got note on the common routes you'll need to travel. It should help you navigate. And he adds, tapping a few of the marked locations, I've listed some trustworthy folk that you can turn to if you find yourselves in a bind. Many owe me a favor or two. Yosig exits the room really briefly after handing the map to Scribs. It's all rolled up, by the way. He's going to go in here, maybe.
Can I add it to my inventory?
Sure.
I'm going to go talk to the owner.
Well, he's coming back in right away. So he just ran in here and then came back.
I just want to ask him if he has any weapons he'd be willing to part with to help out.
He returns with his arms full of supplies. My adventuring days are long gone, he grumbles as he drops everything to the floor. There's a hint of wistfulness in his voice. This stuff's been gathering dust for too long. It's best you take it with you. With a heavy heart, he looks down at the items that are essential for travel. So you have like extra rations, a handful of coins, a coil of rope, and I think like a lantern maybe.
Yeah. I assume that Annie's like starting items, like her backpack is like comes from some of this stuff too.
Probably. I'd assume so. Each item carries memories of past adventures, a reminder of a life he once led but has since left behind. More importantly, I have something for each of you, Yosig announces. Turning to Neela, he says, Little halfling, you are going to get into a world of trouble. With a wry smile, he presents her with a small charm bracelet. This is my good luck charm. You'd be surprised at how well it works. Keep it close. He says, I used to wrap it around the butt of my blade so that it would be with me whenever I was in battle. And he like winks at her or whatever.
Because he's so much bigger than I am and I'm so little, I put it on like a necklace because it fits around my neck. So I wear it.
Well, you're a halfling and he's a gnome.
Oh, I thought
or not a gnome.
Dwarf.
He's a dwarf. So is
dwarves are still pretty tall. Dwarves are like
Are
5
they?
feet tall.
Because I'm like 3 feet tall.
No, dwarves are like 5 feet tall, but halflings and gnomes are both really short.
I'm a dwarf. Hell yeah.
See, dwarves are considered medium creatures, but halflings and gnomes are small.
Okay, I thought they were also in the same category.
No,
Apparently, I need to look at a
dwarves
sizing chart.
They're shorter than humans, but they're like short and stocky.
The charm bracelet that he gave me or whatever, I'm going to just say that it's long enough.
It's
for
big
me
enough
as
to.
a necklace. Yeah.
I'll take that. That's fine.
Yeah,
Put it on
with
and
his
say,
big ass
"Oh,
dwarf
you
wrists,
take
it would
this
go
out."
around your neck. Yeah.
Yosig then turns to Scribs, and he says, Scribs, I am entrusting you with my own copy of the Compendium of Arcane Knowledge. It has gotten me out of quite a few binds.
Scribs' jaw just drops. What?
Wait, sorry, what was
The Compendium of Arcane Knowledge.
it? Oh, okay.
Compendium?
So it's like a magic book. Approaching Annie, Yosig takes her hands gently and places something inside them. Anvil, I have kept this from you for a long time, he admits, his voice faltering slightly. I don't know. I guess I just wanted to make sure you were ready before saying anything. Annie looks down to find a locket necklace in her hands.
She'll open it.
Inside the locket are 2 pictures. One is of a strange woman who bears a striking resemblance to Annie, but with shorter hair and a sterner expression. The other picture is of Yosig himself. Remember that even if you don't find your family, you have a spare one right here. He clears his throat really quickly and awkwardly begins to go clean off the dishes from the stove and everything.
That's so cute.
And he lets everyone in the group kind of process their gifts.
Yeah, fuck you, Rogar, you don't get nothing.
Do you say that to him?
I'm just gonna look at him and I'm gonna go, go back to like playing with my necklace.
Scribs is like immediately starting to read his book. And Annie's trying to hide like a really big smile, and she's just like tucking the locket kind of into a secure pocket.
Jordan's trying really hard not to cry right now.
Shut up. As everyone finishes their meal and gathers their belongings, Yosig stands at the doorway, watching them with a mix of pride and sadness. So now we're going to say it's later on. Everyone's like leaving. We're all packing up our stuff. We're going out the door. And we'll say who's out here as well. Okay, so it's like this. The morning sunlight casts a warm glow around Yosig, accentuating the lines of fatigue on his face. As Rogar exits the house, Yosig stops him quietly. I don't trust you, he admits, his voice low. But you are the strongest of your group. With a solemn expression, he retrieves a dusty shield from behind a bookshelf and hands it to Rogar. Please, protect my daughter. As the group heads south through the town, Yosig remains standing in the doorway until Annie is no longer in view. Tears begin to form in his eyes. Forgetful Annie will never be forgotten.
Aww.
So you guys are all on your way out of town now.
Okay.
And that's where I'm wrapping it up. That's all I had for you guys tonight.
Woo!
That was a good one.
So
Good job, Jordy.
thank you. Lots of...
I got a book!
Grace got a rat. So
And a necklace. It was a double whammy for me.
everybody got
I got a necklace too!
Everybody got something, I think, hopefully.